Sunday. It's been a week since we planted sunflowers. I'm up here by the sunflower plot. Nothing's happening. You can see nothing's even poking out. I think the soil's too cold right now. It's been cool spring. We're May 12th and farmers aren't even planting. It's too cold out right now. I think it's still, even today, is still only in the 50s. So hopefully they pop up here in the next week or two. We're gonna run around and change trail camera cards. Cruz is gonna do a little bit of target practice. Brought the 22 out. He's gonna go shoot some stumps, do a little target practice while we're out here, and we'll check on the other plots, see how they're doing. We've got this little area up here. It's kind of in the woods. The road's up over here. Last year we had pumpkins in here and they didn't really turn out. We had a ton of them grow, but they all ended up green. Grandpa's thinking Kevin's thinking it's from too much shade. So we're thinking of something else to put in here this year. I'm not really sure what we're gonna put in. This is kind of part of the whole long row here. Grandpa's gonna plant, I think he already did plant pumpkins here and some down farther. We've got all our clover here, so not sure what I'm gonna plant in this yet. Still thinking about it, but I should figure it out what I'm gonna throw in there this year. Got kind of a nice little hole here where the deer travel through right along the creek here. So it's been 3 weeks since we threw some clover and chicory down in this little plot here. We did all 3 of them 3 weeks ago now. We've got stuff coming up. I didn't really do much for prep on this because I plan on plowing it down anyways. It looks like it's kind of coming up. I mean, we definitely have some green coming up through here. I guess the question is that what we planted, or do we just have weeds or whatever growing up? Not real sure, but I got a lot of green coming here. So hopefully that's our clover and chicory coming up. We're gonna let this green up. There'll be some weeds and stuff in it, but that's all right. The deer don't care. So we'll see how this keeps progressing. I was hoping this would be a lot taller by now. We planted it 3 weeks ago, but again, it's been really cool out. I mean, we're talking 50s, 40s. I mean, it's been in the 30s a lot of nights, so things just aren't growing too well. So I guess it is what it is. I originally had this camera set on high sensitivity, and I got thousands of blanks of nothing. Anything that, I don't even know if there was a leaf moving or anything. So I set it back down to normal. Seems to be doing a lot better. I'm not getting a bunch of false triggers now, so seems to be doing good. Really the only issue with this is the image quality is not that great, but I've been compiling some footage of it, and eventually here I'm going to put together a review on it. It's been a week since we planted pumpkins in this row. We did it when we did the sunflowers, and there's nothing popping up. I just thought I'd stop and check it, but again, it's been cold, and I don't know how long it takes for pumpkins to pop up, but nothing yet. So we'll keep watching this one. This plot here, we planted 3 weeks ago along with the other ones. Again, all we did was just broadcast out some clover and chicory that we had laying around. We definitely starting to green up with some weeds. A lot of weeds growing in here, but again, not too concerned. We're gonna do it right come July. But I do see we got some clover right there. There's some clover growing right there. So there's definitely some clover growing, but we also got some weeds and stuff growing in here too. So this one seems to be coming along a little, not quite as good as the last one, but the last one did get some fertilizer. When we were planting pumpkins last weekend, we had some extra fertilizer, so we threw some fertilizer on that last one by Grandpa's motorhome. So we'll keep watching this and see if this clover and chicory takes off and what we end up with before we plow her down in July. We've got a couple of dens in the bank here. One there, there's another big one down there. I've been seeing quite a few woodchucks on camera in this plot here, but I'm also seeing quite a few fox. Honestly, that looks a little bit big for groundhogs, but I threw a camera on it right here. So this is the first time I've had a camera on these dens. Hopefully we got some pictures, but we'll check the cards and see what kind of critters we got living in them. Well, maybe we won't have any pictures of the den. I went to pull the card on this and the camera wouldn't even fire up or even show to turn off, which is odd. I didn't think the batteries were that low on it. I threw a new set of batteries in it and it fired up, but it had a card issue, so I swapped, put a different card in it and it fired up, so hopefully it works. I'm not sure if I got any pictures from last week or not, or if we had a camera issue, so that's too bad. I was hoping to see what's going in and out of these dens, but we'll check it out. Well, we've been having issues at the feeder. I think I have it narrowed down. I think the battery's junk. It's weird, you can charge it, put a meter on it, it shows that it's good, but it's only throwing out a tiny little bit of corn. I actually stopped a few places this week to pick up a new Moultrie battery. Nobody carries them anymore locally. Cabela's, Fleet Farm, Walmart, nobody carries them, so I'm gonna have to order one. I was actually gonna bring out just a cheap lantern battery today and throw in it, and the local hardware store, Ace, didn't have one on a Sunday, so I think that's the problem. I'm gonna do a quick test on it and see what we get here. Yeah, you can see she's spinning just a little bit. That's it, that's all we got. So I'm definitely thinking it's a battery issue. I brought out a bucket of Lucky Buck mineral. I've got a mineral site here. It's kind of soaking wet from all the rain, but one of the things I found with the Lucky Buck is it's such an attractant that it's basically gone in a day. The deer just stand there and lap it all up. My buddy Chris makes a homemade blend that he does himself, and I actually think that's better. The deer still definitely hit it, but it's not gone in a day. You know, it takes a couple of weeks for them to come through. This Lucky Buck, it's got so much apple flavor in it that it seems like the deer they'll just stand there all day until it's tore up and gone. So but I'll keep throwing it out. It's that time of the year to keep out mineral. I'm out here in the rock plot. This again has been 3 weeks since we threw clover and chicory out here. They're starting to get some green out here, but I'm not real sure it's what we want it to be. That definitely looks like clover. I think that's chicory, but the rest of this, I think the rest of this is just weeds. I definitely see some clover and some chicory popping up here. They're probably 2, 3, 4 inches tall. Not sure if that's the stuff from last year or the stuff from this year, but I got a bunch of just green ground cover. I don't think that is what we want. I don't think it's clover and chicory, so we may have just a plot full of weeds this year, but I guess so be it. Well, we're clearly having a issue at the field drive here this year. We've never had this before. It's gotten a little bit puddly down here, but not bad, but it's terrible this year. And I'm not really sure why. Nothing really seems to be draining anymore into it or less into it this year. Other than it's been a wet spring, but not sure. So we're not sure if the answer is more gravel. You know, if we back in and dump another load of gravel here, or if the gravel's just going to turn to mud and sink out of sight. I'm kind of thinking the first step might be take the tractor with the back blade, and the creek runs right there. And you can see it's kind of high enough there that the water's pooling right here. We drop down this way, up, drop that way, and then it kind of goes up a little bit. Take the tractor and the back blade and dig a trench right over to the creek bed right there. It's only 20 feet. We get 25 feet. Maybe dig that out and see if this will drain out that way. So otherwise we got a real bad mess this year. Well, crew's doing a little target practice here before we head out for the day. Well, we're all done at the land, back home here checking out the new chickens. Mandy came home with some new chickens yesterday. Got some real nice looking laying hens here. Looking good. We'll let them hang out in the pen for a couple of weeks, then we'll let them run around the yard. Got my pens ready for pheasants. I should say pen. I was gonna make a couple, but I think I'm gonna be stuck with one pen ready for pheasant chicks, so probably need to start looking into that here too. Otherwise, that's about it for today. Now we're on to house chores, and well, that's no fun.